She is a UIF practitioner and specialist, and today we are talking more around unpacking the 4-year cycle and maternity within the UIF. I just want to find out if at this moment usindiswa uyandiva na kwelakhe icala. Good afternoon, ma'am. Masikwamkele enkqubeni sikubulise, and thank you so much for being with us today.
Molo Thandisa, ewe ndiyakuva.
Uyandiva ne? All right. Masibulele kakhulu that you are with us namhlanje. Sizawuncokola ke about these two main aspects within UIF, which is the 4-year cycle and maternity. Please give us an overview of your work and also tell us a bit about yourself.
Okay, mna ndinguSindiswa Mbonambi. I am a UIF practitioner as well as a UIF knowledge specialist, and I educate a lot with regards to the UIF overall in terms of the application, documentation, challenges that the applicants face, challenges that the employers face, just the overall, all things UIF. Njimlo.
Nguwe lowo. All right. Now, masiqale ke just ukwendlalela this conversation, okay, usicacisele the basics of UIF and yokuthini for the sake of our listener mhlawumbi omamele ekhaya who may not necessarily be familiar with it.
Yes, I get a lot of questions with regards to the UIF, and based on the questions endizifumanayo, iyacaca uba abantu abaqondi uba yintoni le UIF. All they know uba i-unemployment insurance fund, but uba yintoni lesilwanyana ekuthiwa i-UIF and why it was established. It was established, it is a social insurance. I want us to be clear on that. It is a social insurance, Thandisa, ayo investment. And ukusungula kwayo kuthiwe ugovernment uthi I will meet you halfway. Xa uphelelwe umsebenzi, xa ungakhoni ukwenza imali because of maternity, paternity, illness, adoption, reduce work time, kwaye ne-death benefit. Now, I'm not talking about the funeral cover, I'm talking about the death benefit. Government, I will meet you halfway.
Okay.
Akazukubhatalela for the rest of your life.
Why do you think people think it's an investment? Is it because or what?
Yeah, it's a misconception that went out there to say kunala mali free and uyayifumana xa uphangela, xa uphelelwe umsebenzi uyayifumana. Abacacisa uba xa uphele njani umsebenzi and who is eligible to submit. Ayo wonke umuntu othi xa uphelelwe umsebenzi uzawufumana la UIF. Kuye ngokuthi wena ungubani na. And i-employer yakho kanye umqashi wakho uyazibhatala eza contributions e-1% ku-UIF. Xa ingabhatali i-employer, u-UIF akazubhatala naye. So i-employer, qala phaa ku-employer uba employer bhatala eza 1%, and then mna ndingu-UIF ndizawueda a certain percentage kumqashi wakho or kumsebenzi wakho.
I see. And then today we're talking about lento UIF ne 4-year cycle. What is it about? How does it work? Why is it important for both employees and employers? Sebenza njani?
Okay, I need us to also understand, and I like to emphasize about your investment. Remember, a provident fund investment. We are resigner, we are gxothwa, uhlala ekhaya, uthatha umhlalaphansi, i-provident izawubhatala. But i-UIF yila umbrella ethi xa uhamba endleleni unethwa yimvula, i-unemployment, maternity, njalo njalo, iza kukhavarisha while you are still looking for something solid. Because I bhatali for the rest of your life, UIF nizakubhatala for the last 4 years of your employment. Xa UIF ibhatala paid in full kwi-unemployment okanye illness benefit ngo-2022, bakubhatala in full, ama-credits wakho they are depleted, aphelile. The 4-year yakho izawuqala ukubalwa xa ucontributor again. Thandiso uyaphangela ku-company A, uyabhatalwa ngo-2022. 2023, 2024, 2025 akaphangeli. Ufumana umsebenzi ngo-2026. That 4 years starts to count ngala 2026 when you start to contribute again, not when you were last paid. For unemployment ne illness benefit, because zezi main benefits I-unemployment la main benefit bese i-illness. If umqashi wakho akakuniki next while you are on illness benefit and i-UIF pays you, xa bekubhatalile yaphela, now awusenama-funds. Xa uyoclaima again, you need to have worked for at least a minimum of 4 years for you to accumulate a certain credits for the UIF to be in a position to pay you. So lo unemployment main benefit, the main account le ka unemployment. So xa utsale kula uyaphelela.
And that's the other thing, you know, I think it's an element of thinking it's kind of unlimited, ne? Like ingathi ungayithatha nje forever, go.
Yeah, they think kuba salary. I once said on this show, ayisumavuso, ayo vacation money. Imali yokuthi ndiza kuhlangabeza xa ungenamali. And a lot of people, I'm glad that on our platform, they are now seeing the light. Uba yintoni la UIF. Let's take somebody with maternity. Now see how the UIF works. You were paid in full. Maternity. Now we are not being paid from unemployment or illness. We are paid in full for maternity. Uthi u-UIF leye maternity siyitsala pha kules ngizawuthini a wing of a UIF. It's de-linked from the main account, which is unemployment. So bayitsala kulama points wakho. In 6 months later, when I decide uba mna ndifuna umntana uzawubhatala. If they pay you more than 3 times within the 4-year cycle, iyaphela la mali. I want you to keep in mind, Thandiswa, social insurance. I want people to understand that asikhuphe la investment mentality, because yiyo le ebayezuba bacinga uba bazawubhatalwa okokoko, abazubhatalwa okokoko, bazawubhatalwa provided they have sufficient credits, provided they have sufficient points. So maternity is not linked to any of the UIF benefits. Inalama points, ngizawuyenza umzekelo nge-Shoprite card. I-Shoprite card inama points. When you utilize that card, is still the property of Shoprite. It is Shoprite, based on what is written on UI 2.7, we will pay you or will give you access to utilize these points, the maternity. How we pay you, when we pay you, and how much we pay you depends on what your employer wrote on UI 2.7. Yila form eceleli UIF uba nizanibhatala so much money for this long, and so they only pay for 4 months with maternity, subject to credit availability.
Tell me something. So the maximum within a 4-year cycle is 3 times maternity. So you can only be pregnant 3 times.
Depending on what you are contributing again. Remember, each department works with the points or with the credits that you accumulate. If when you contribute 50 rand, employer B contribute 177, or you contribute 100 rand, that depends. And what the employer writes, I'll tell you, not all of you, the employer will say the same thing. Laws at Indikbatala for 1 month, 3 months, UIF will top up. Remember, maternity, they don't pay, they top up. What the employer pays.
But some employers just do abazingeni, you know? Like it's
abazazi ezinye employers azazi. That's where I come in, because amanye employer, there are employers who say I don't pay for maternity. That's fine. UIF gives you a UI 2.7 on that form. The information you put there must match with what is on the system when the UIF puts in your ID. Abanye employers is out and andikubhatali while you're on maternity leave. That's fine. UIF says I'll pay because you are not generating income. Employer who's out in Zakpatala 80%, that's fine. Department says I will top up. Omnye athi ngizakubhatala 2 months, enye 2 months department ithi ngizayibhatala. Omnye athi ngizawubhatala 1 month department ithi ngizawubhatala. Whatever the employer says, it's what the department tops up. I see salary. It's what they top up. So you might be earning 22K, but you are contributing 177, and the employer says, I'll give you 50%. The department tops up on maternity.
So it majority of the time will be less than what you probably are getting.
it's difference based on what the employer says, and it matches what the department pays. They are not going to top up with the entire money of the salary. Hence, I always say, aksi mali to make a lot of adjustment. Iti government, Tandisa, it's me, Cindy, was saying, I'll give you 500 rand. Don't tell me about when I expect 700 rand. I'm topping up. I'm helping you.
Yamkela lokho okuncane
Yamkela ube nombulelo. The point says the shop, right? As it tiny grocer, zit I will meet you halfway. Instead of you buying a bread for 15 rand, I tell 8 rand.
All right. As Ted, let's talk about a claimant. How much can they expect to receive from UIF maternity benefits, and how is it calculated?
That depends. The tricky part is applicants as be specific, but this is how much I earn. I usually put them on the spot and say, how much are you contributing? Because it's not the same one size fit all.
Everyone.
I always say what you contribute determines how much the department will pay you. Let's take somebody who are not earning anything with maternity. They pay up to 66% flat, right? And then there's somebody who is contributing 30%. They contribute before the department says if the employer was paying you 75%, they are not paying at all. They realize, but no, this is unfair to our applicants. Now they're saying whatever the employer pays, we top up.
Match. Or in fact, you top it up. Yes, sorry, match would be incorrect.
Yes. If the employer pays 90%, we top up. If the employer
10%.
pays 40%, we top up. If the employer pays 70%, we top up. They have updated that. So what the employees need to find out is, did my employer submitted my declarations to the UIF? Yes or no? That, and then look at the UI 2.7. What did the employer wrote there?
I see. Are there any specific requirements, like in terms of documentation, that a person needs to bring when they want to access, like they want to actually make a maternity claim or
yes.
UIF?
Yes, UIF covers for 7 benefits: unemployment, maternity, paternity, illness, reduced work time, adoption, as well as death benefits. All of these benefits, they have a set of supporting documents that they need to accompany the application. Maternity, you will need your ID, your UI 19, your salary schedule, UI 2.8, and UI 2.3 that will be completed by your doctor, and that UI 2.7. And the birth certificate if the baby is born. And in maternity, they can start to submit it from the 3rd trimester, but the government is also saying with maternity, if it happens, because now we'll only take the maternity and tomorrow we are dead. So, but once the baby is born, you have 12 months to proceed with that application. Yes, they will pay Tandisa even if the applicant has returned back to work, depending again on what the employer wrote on the UI 2.7. That particular document is very important for the maternity applicants. Because UIF, how much are they going to top up, how long are they going to pay, and when are they going to start to pay?
No, I hear you. And when it comes to imibuzo that people usually ask around UIF, what are the most frequently asked questions and how do you answer them? Give me 3, maybe.
Yes, the first question will say, when I submitted my COP, when is the money going to clear from my account? That's number question. Second question, Utandisa, you received more money than me and you're working the same job. When do I submit my application? Let's start with the first one. When the money clears, I always use any freeway to say, depending on when you submitted. Remember, department works with processes, not what the people think and what the people want. Don't come to the UIF and say, abantwana bayalamba, abazukmamela, but come and say, I followed your proper processes, then you will get their attention. When the money clears depends on whether you follow the proper processes, and this department works with 9 provinces, 9 provinces, Eastern Cape being one of them. All of these people are submitting their application to the very same department. Every day, Tandisa, they receive over 54,000 applicants, including fraudulent applicants. So when the money clears, if they tell you about 7 days, you need to work it out and say every 7 to 10 working days as an applicant. If we have followed the proper processes, they can pay that money within 15 working days, depending on the backlog that is sitting on their system at the moment. Remember, the system crashes at the same time and it fails them to do that, but it doesn't take long if the process has been followed to the T. Okay. And then somebody will come, employer A and employer B, why this one received more money and mine? Employment history counts. Declarations back again to the culprits, employers. Did they submit your declaration to the UIF, yes or no? Umuntu uzawuthi ukuthi usebenze for 6 years, but they were only declared for 4 years. Department will call that employer and say, Mamela, submit the declarations of employer A, otherwise we're not going to pay that person. Again, that contributes to the payment not coming on time, because some of these employers, they submit your declarations after you were approved. They say department, they have a contractor, only then they submit your declarations. It goes to reassessment. The department has to recalculate across 9 provinces to ensure that they are paying the correct beneficiary, they're paying the correct amount, and you are eligible for whatever benefit you have applied for. So it's not a one-size-fits-all.
Nah. What was the last question? You said something interesting. I've forgotten the other question that you mentioned now that usually people ask as well. Dilibele. Let's keep it moving, Dilibele. All right. So when someone wants to contact you for some kind of support and assistance, do you offer that assistance? Do you offer that support both to employers and employees? How do we then contact you?
Yes, on all our social media platforms, we are CNB community. We do assist applicants in terms of understanding what is the UIF and the process. And we do assist employers with regards to their declarations, the errors that they face with regards to the online platforms. And then we do give some education as well.
All right. Sini, so thank you so much, Sisi, for coming through and having this conversation with us. Siyavuya and siyabulela kakhulu ukukhe uphinde usithi nje on understanding the 4-year cycle rather, and also maternity within the UIF. We thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And I want to emphasize that, please, people, applicants and employers, do understand what is the UIF. Once you understand, then it's easy for you to have or lessen your expectations. But if you don't, you will have all these misconceptions. So please try and educate yourself in terms of what is UIF and why it was established in the first place.
Thank you, Sisi. Siyabulela.